So, hello, this is it. This is the first ever video that I've made to send out into the world to connect with everyone, with you, with whoever. I'm not used to this kind of thing. What I'm used to is talking to a person and being there in the moment with them, helping them with whatever they need. So I guess this is it. Hello, I'm Ross. I'm trying to head up a project to help people, and it's in the very early stages, but we're gonna get there. I just need you guys, really. I just need you guys to help to push the project into the light, to help everyone to see that there are changes that we need to make in the world. And I mean, I know there's a lot going on in the world. There's a lot of people doing a lot of good, and it is really helping. But we need to be like in our own streets, doing the things and making the differences. And so that's why I'm here, and that's why I'm putting this out to you guys. I mean, usually, I only usually get a few minutes at a time to help someone change their mind on a certain situation, give them a whole new perception on their whole life. And I see the results daily. People come back to me, their lives are changing, and so like I want to do what I can to help anyone who needs the help. And so with the In-House Awakening project, I intend to, well, first I intend to get a house, of course. We're gonna need a house for it being in-house. But that's gonna be hard, I'm fucking homeless. So mind my language, sorry about that. But it's not about what you have, it's about what you can do for people, and so I believe that, whatever we as light beings, as whatever you want to call yourself, or just a humanitarian or just a good person or whatever it is, whatever it is that we can do these things together for those that actually need the help. And so, I'm putting this out there to you guys to spread the word about what I want to try to do. Initially, I would like to help the homeless people, the people we see in the street, the people we pass every single day, and we look down and, no one's even carrying any change anymore to give them. So, you know what, these things, it's even tougher for them. And we've got people who have, over the COVID, I lost everything to COVID. A lot of people lost even more to COVID. I didn't have far to fall, so I didn't break much. There are people who fell from heights, man, and they are, well, we don't know where they are, you know, and so I just see that everyone lost something over the past few years, and so if we're able to give something back, anything back, we should do it. We have air in our lungs, the man. That is the most fundamental thing. We have air in our lungs. We are so absolutely lucky to have that right now. Ed, there are so many people. One second. All right, sorry about that. Got an interruption, my little boy coming. So yes, as I was saying, man, we have the luxury of being alive, and this man, it's a lot of people. We lost a lot of people. Like, the people that didn't have to die, they're people who are still suffering because of everything that happened. And so, like, we're lucky enough to be alive. We're lucky enough to have air in our lungs and to be able to do stuff. And so I just think that, that we can help. And so with the project, like I said, initially, I would like to help the homeless people because, they're members of society too, and they're forgotten. Just like a lot of the people who have mental health issues, or people who are just junkies, or people who are just drinking, they're the forgotten members of society, and we forget that we're a part of society, and we do help each other. We have ways of helping each other. We help family, we help friends, we help this, but you know what? Everything else goes out the window. If we're giving our £3 a month to some faceless charity that doesn't actually give the money to the cause, then we're still at some sort of ease with ourselves, paying our 3 months. But money is, you know, m- money's needed, of course it's needed, but you know it breeds the wrong kind of people into the mix. And so when we're doing something from the heart, not for the money, not where the money's involved, but we're just going out with our hands, you know, with our hearts, and going out and doing something for somebody. You know, it doesn't matter whether you notice somebody on the train, you know, and they look down, just ask them, are they okay? How'd your day go? You know, it could be that simple. Or, you know, to actually stop and talk to that homeless person in the street. You know, they might need your money, but you know what? They might need a conversation even more. They might need to just, you know, just tell a little bit of their story. You know, and that might be of help. You know, buy them some food, talk to them, get to know them, because you know you don't know them. You walk past them, and you think, you know, I've seen people say, "Why don't you get a job?" And all sorts of horrible things, and it's you don't know the situation that put them there. Like I said earlier, you know, you got people who fell from great heights during the pandemic, you know, and they're, you know, these people are probably on the streets right now. So, you know, you can't look at one person and judge them just thinking, oh, yeah, you're homeless because you're on drugs. You have to look beyond all of that and wonder what brought you to that point in life. You know, how did you get to that point in life? You know, and then look at yourself and think, how did I get to this point in life? I'm lucky enough to you know to have a roof over my head, to maybe have a nice car, good job, wife, family, and everything. But the person sitting down there, and you're not trying to compare yourself to them, because you just automatically just autopilot walk past them, and you might have a thought in your head for them. You might feel sorry for them, but you actually do nothing about it. You know, and it's a sad state of affairs that we get into this way of turning a blind eye where it makes us uncomfortable. You know, like we're in our comfort zones most of the time, and as soon as something throws us out of it, then you know we lose ourselves over it, and it shouldn't be uncomfortable seeing someone in that situation. It should be a case of what can I do? What can I do? You know, can I make a phone call for them on their behalf? Can I, you know, can I buy them some food? Do I know anyone who could possibly put them up? You know, just to find out. You know, it doesn't have to be homeless people. Anyone who needs help with anything, so I'm sure that, you know, we've got 6 degrees of separation. Everyone knows someone who is suffering in one way or another, you know, and we also know someone who's not doing anything. So I think it's about time we really got off our asses, mind my language, and stood up for the people who, like, probably don't have even the strength to do that half the time, you know, especially now. You know, it's everyone's going through everyone's going through something. I understand that, I get that, I respect that. But ultimately it's a choice for us to stay in that situation, you know? And I know what I'm saying there. It's that kind of relates to the homeless people. It's their choice, but it's not necessarily their choice always, you know, because they're stuck in a loop of how do I get out of this? And then it's a loop of escaping from where they are. And so, you know, they definitely do need the help. But again, like I said earlier, you know, the project isn't just for the homeless. Eventually, I want this project to help as many people from as many walks of life as possible with the issues. You know, eventually, I would like to see the programs in schools, you know, so we can try and help raise enlightened adults instead of, like, you know, just throwing the textbook education that we have at them, you know, and then just throwing them out into the world and letting them deal with everything without knowing themselves, you know, because if they know themselves, once they're ready to get out in that world, they'll know the world too. And it's very simple, and children, especially children, when you get them from the youngest age and you teach them mindfulness. I know there's a lot of mindfulness going on in schools right now, and that's absolutely amazing, but I think things should be just integrated into the education system a lot more, a lot quicker, and like, for it to be a lot more progressive, in a sense that, because we do have lots of problems with teenagers. Especially you've got teenagers that, they come from broken homes. They end up in gangs and doing this and doing that, selling drugs, taking drugs, and just doing silly things. But we have an opportunity now. We have an opportunity now to change the next generation. We literally do. We have the opportunity to change the next generation and have them just everybody loving each other. And we can get rid of postcode wars and all of these silly things that they get up to. It's ridiculous, because if we do think of them as the future, the way they're being raised right now with the culture that they're in right now, we're banging trouble. It's kind of scary. I know we do have a lot of good kids out there excelling in their lives and doing some amazing things, but it's the other ones who are like, who get left out, but they're the most creative, but they're not given the opportunity to be creative because they either, come from a certain area and do hang around with one or two kids and have a slight attitude problem, but their creativity, that ends up going into, the bad things that they do, and they're bloody creative with that. So let's just imagine that they can put all of that creativity, like kids love to do music. They love making music. And so, instead of putting like, their surroundings, they got anger and they got drugs and they've got fighting all the time. So that stuff ends up in their music, but if you had these kids being raised in school, in terms of like, trying to help them reach enlightenment, to know themselves fully in and out, then, that energy that they have that goes into all the shit that gets them into trouble, mind my language again, I'm sorry, that gets them into trouble, that will be turned around, you know what I mean? And the things that they produce will be more positive, because we know that the music that's made and created with negative energies, we know what that's created for. We know it's supposed to keep you down here and to keep you in that, anxiety loop, right? And to keep everybody on edge. But you know what? When we have harmony in music, there's no anxiety, there's no, there's no aggression. It's all just beautiful, peaceful love in your heart. And so, if we can create that with all the teenagers we have, man, that's a beautiful future. And then, man, the possibilities are obviously, they're quite endless, really, but like I say, the project, the In-House Awakening project, it's still very early stages, man. I mean, like, I ain't got a clue what I'm doing, really. I just know that what I want to do, I have the vision of what I want to do. I'm no good with social media, connecting in this way. This is not the way I connect. I connect with the people there, you know what I mean? And I've got them there because then they can see me, they can see who I am, what I'm about, and they can read my energy if they know what they're doing. They can read what I have in my heart and what I want to do. They know it. They know it. They know it to be the truth. But this way, I don't understand this. This is new to me. I'm an old man. I'm grey in my bloody beard, and if I had my hair any longer, you'd see the black and white hair going. But I mean, um, yeah. So this is new to me. This way, but um, I'm hoping that I'm able to reach even one person out there, get talking about the project, just, share it. I've got some pages that are updated, not very often, because as I say, I'm not great with this thing, and I don't have a lot of time at the moment trying to get things up and running. I need help with, I'm not social media savvy, so I need help with that. I need help. I just need help. So anyone who kind of probably even half knows what they're doing, that'd be great. Anyone who wants to give any ideas or just brainstorm. I mean, I've got 1.5 million ideas, for the project. I know the vision that I have. I know what I want, where I want certain projects to be. Well, every institution we have, man, come on, because it's time. It's time to it's time for the light to shine in every single one of us. Every single one of us, we have that light inside of us. Doesn't matter what we've gone through in our lives, how much bad times we've gone through. That's all just happened to bring us to a point in life where we realize, wow, like I needed all of that stuff to happen in order for me to become the person that I am. So like, if you can help, give me a shout. It'll be absolutely amazing to hear from you. Um, if you if you know anyone who knows anything about these kinds of things, about just getting the project set up, because like I say, I know what I want to do. I've tried to get funding for these things in the past, and I've always been turned down because it's government funding. They don't want people to, I don't know. I don't really want to say anything bad, but you know what? It just feels like my our experiences, should I say, has been like, everything for youths has always been closed down, just closed down. Like, all the community centres, all of this stuff that happens for them, that's good for them, that keeps them off the street and out of trouble, by the way. Yeah, because guess what? They've actually got something to do instead of hanging around in the streets and getting into trouble. So, like, you create a problem so you can get a budget to fix the problem that you're never going to fix because, you let it blow all out of proportion. But when you have a bunch of like-minded people who actually like know, like, do you know what? Actually, bam, we know how to fix this. Guess what? We all collectively, with all of our heads together, we know how to do it. We actually do. We bloody know how to do it. Because guess what? It's all about showing love, compassion for everyone and everything. Because at the end of the day, when we do that, the energy goes out. You can have a person who is absolutely full of hate. You absolutely full of hate. And you can have a conversation with them and give them an epiphany moment, like where you ask them a certain question and then they realize, like, wow, like, actually, so no, like, nobody has the power to make me feel good, bad, happy, sad, or any other plethora of emotions. The only person who has that power is me right here. And so, it's easy to change a person's perception when they're willing to see it. And that's what I want to try and do. I do that every day. Whether it's just helping someone to appreciate the rain or the cold wind or something like that, from just something like that. It doesn't matter. You still change that person's life. It might be a tiny little way, it might be a huge way, because you know what? That tiny little thing that you changed in their mind, that could lead to appreciations of so many other things that used to annoy them, give them anxiety, make them angry, or make them lash out, or whatever. It will give them an idea. Just, that one tiny little thing you said, like, oh man, like, dude, you should really appreciate the rain, 'cause that's life coming down on you. It's water, remember that. It's life. Without that, we don't have any life. And also, you know, like, remember, like, you know, on a hot summer's day when it's way too hot, you know, there's no way of cooling down. You would absolutely gag for a cold blast of wind and a tiny little bit of rain. That would be your dream right there. You know, so just appreciate either one for the either one, because, you know, without one, the other isn't as pleasurable. You know, like the heat, the cold, just love both of them for what they are. You know, so, you know, just giving a person that kind of insight, you know, it can spread all the way through their life. From just talking about the weather, yeah, you can change a person's life just talking about the weather. Everyone's like, oh yeah, it's sunny outside. Or you talk about the weather, it's just that mundane conversation that you have, but you can change a life with it. You can change a view at a minimum, you know. Unless they just I really hate the rain and cold, then I guess there's nothing you can really do. But personally, I think it's very, very easy to 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 turn someone's attitude around and get them to see the light in whatever dark place they're in. Just that tiny little bit of light, you know, a tiny little bit, like, you know what, everyone turns to that tiny little bit of light. If they're in a dark room, you know, a tiny bit of light appears, everyone's going to turn to it. So, you know, we have to appreciate that. And oh, I babble on, and I kind of tend to lose my train of thought and babble on. So I'm going to actually stop now. um get in touch with me. I haven't said a whole lot about the project, because obviously, you know, I want to keep a lot of that in here and in here until certain things come to fruition and we have enough people on board who are willing to and who have heard me out on a small scale, you know, to actually make this thing possible, you know. So initially, like I say, we definitely want to help people who are in bad situations. You know, especially beginning with the homeless people. We want to get them off the street, man. You know, I want to retain a property and renovate it so it can be it's specified for the needs. You know, I will have volunteers on site to help with the process. You know, I mean, to show the programs and everything, and the classes, the teachers' classes, um, and we will just introduce them to their universe. You know, we introduce them to themselves and help them get back not just their life, but a brand new life that helps them be brand new every single day. You know, you have to be brand new every single day in order to grow and grow and grow and grow and grow into a more level-headed, beautiful person. I mean, all of you absolutely beautiful. I love every single last one of you on the planet. Doesn't matter whether you're good or bad. My unconditional love is all of yours. And I send that out to you with every conscious and unconscious breath. I absolutely love all of you. And I thank you very much for taking the time to see this. I mean, it's gone on for a minute. But like I say, get in touch with me if you think you might be able, if you're interested in doing the right thing in the world and making the changes that it seems that the people with the power to make changes don't seem to want to do. I think it's really, really, really time now that we, as a people, come together. I mean, we did come together quite well during the pandemic, but also we've also been split on every single agenda from, I don't know, Agenda 21 to the gender of a animated potato. It's kind of insane, but where it's important, we are pulling together. And so I think that if we stay together, we can fix whatever's broken. We can. We can do it. And we can have an absolutely amazing future together if we stay together. because it's all about unity. And if we don't stay unified, and we keep on allowing ourselves to be pulled apart and pulled apart and pulled apart and pulled apart, you know, every person's going to be fighting literally with their neighbor, you know. So the guy in the middle is going to be fighting with this guy, and this guy's really fighting with this guy, and this guy, and this guy, you know. So, like, let's just not let that happen. Let's rise above all this stuff. Switch off your TVs. That's the first thing you need to do. Switch off the TV, get out in nature, hug some trees, talk to the moon, talk to the universe, talk to yourself. Tell yourself, I love you. Look in the mirror, tell yourself, I absolutely love you to absolute bits. Because you are absolute magic. Do it every single day. Tell yourself, I love you. Tell the universe, I love you. Tell the world, I love you. If it's God you believe in, tell your God, I love you. Say thank you for every single breath that you are able to take. Because, like I said, man, there's so many people that don't have that luxury anymore. You know, they might be in a better place. We might be the ones that are stuck in dread. But at least we have the opportunity to break free of all of that. And, like, now is definitely the time. You know, so it's time to wake up and help others wake up. And we can move forward and have an absolutely amazing, amazing, amazing future. Man, we could go to the stars without Elon. Well, anyway, guys, I absolutely love you all, and I hope to hear from you. And, well, I hope I will have an absolutely amazing life. And take care, guys. Thank you.